Hello everybody, my name is Reed Yeager. I'm doing I'm just gonna do some organization tonight. Basically, I bought some bins. Bought some bins. They're gonna go back here in this section back here, and I'm gonna build dividers for them using the index cards, which I'm using to make the stuff. So I did pick up some index cards tonight when I bought those bins. I bought a couple stacks of 300, and I bought a couple stacks of heavyweight in 100, and I bought some more cheap tape just because I've been running low on that. So that's what I'm doing tonight. So basically, let's see here. So using the multi-screen, and basically just going to do that. So basically I need to make some room here. So basically the bins are going to slide down for the most part, if I can do that, to make some room for a 5 here and 2 5s there. Couldn't find enough bins to do it all tonight, so I'll be careful here. Shoot, I might have, let's see if we can get in here. I have a mess. These bins are these are 3s, and they're kind of in there kind of tight. So we'll see. We'll slide that one over here. We'll slide this one. Whoop. There's an elevation change. Slide this guy. I bet nobody can see what I'm doing. I guess maybe you can, kind of. You'll see more when I get right in here. Just sliding some bins over, hoping not to make a mess, which I'm kind of close to doing right about now. And then I've got these bins on top here, which are going to cause a little bit of grief here, I think. A little bit anyways. So these over here, let's shove this crane. Actually, you know what? I didn't need that much space. Okay. Yeah, is what it is. Let's see if we can get, because I guess the goal is to try to get 2 more. Let's see if I can get 1 more in here. Oh, that's going to be so tight. Yeah. Interesting. Now, let's see here. I think I can really move anything too much. Make it work. There we go. Now I just got to pick up 2 more 5s. We'll have all that. I did do a little sorting last night. A little bit last night. So now you can see it. Let me get out of the way. So I basically just moved. Oh, use this one, I guess. So I just kind of moved all my bins around over there a little bit. So just around. So I made a spot kind of right here for 2 more 5s right there. So basically we're just gonna take some index cards and we're gonna build. I've got bins to build with. I did do some sorting a little bit, but I'm gonna it's gonna have to shuffle around a little bit because all the main colors need to be kind of right here in the main building area, and I could probably do some more bins on this side too, and we'll see about that. Kind of building on top of this tonight. Actually, I did pick up this. This is that special Newsweek magazine. I found some of those today, so I picked that up. Figured I'd take a peek. I mean, I probably know a lot of it, but you know, Lego knowledge is always cool. This is going to be a series. This is going to be kind of a couple series I'm going to start doing in terms of this kind of stuff. Another series that I might end up doing involves cloth capes and possibly duplicating some of those new tents that are out there. And so obviously I'm just kind of going to just do this tonight, just kind of check it out, see what's going on. I think these are kind of what I was using the other night. Yeah, and these actually have lines on them. I think the heavy duty ones might be blank, but 300 of these felt like it was a pretty good deal. I was doing this last night. That's fine. Don't worry about Kittenville. You know, it is what it is. I folded that wrong. So basically, I've just been kind of, you know, I went to the 3x5 card. It's pretty good. I mean, I probably could still cut them in half a little bit, but it is what it is. So, I mean, this is kind of spur of the moment. This is just going to be kind of some, you know, some late night activity stuff. I still need to watch the number 3 of the Forever Sorting. I saw that came out today. I watched a little of it earlier when I stopped, but I haven't watched much of it. I watched a little bit of it. Looking for the tape. Because I mean, I'm trying to get as much of this done as I can. I like to free up a lot of my building space. Hey, Brickbender. This is gonna be kind of one of those series type kind of things, kind of like what Bricksmith just started. I actually kind of like that idea, but this is going to be kind of involving obviously the bins and utilizing the bins, and then of course I do make, you know, as you guys know, a lot of custom capes. Picked up some cool cloth when I was in Colorado Springs the other day. I'm going to make probably some capes. So yeah, the new setup is actually going to be pretty interesting. We'll see how that works. I mean, obviously I've got 2 screens right now that aren't being really used. I do have a 3rd camera, but I don't really need it. But one of those could be the conversation for you know, obviously the Google Hangouts. So yeah, testing it out. I mean, I actually think I had this program once before, and I just haven't used it. So it's possible, you know, I just figured I'd give it a try. Mr. Brick Daddy, how are we doing tonight? So yeah, trying to test it out. Obviously, the camera that's probably going to be the best one will probably be this one. This camera will be the number 1. This one's kind of in front of my face. It's kind of iffy, but that's okay. Okay, so those need to be moved in a little bit. So maybe actually, let's move this over. How about that? Let's see here. We'll actually maybe make this. How about that? Does that look a little bit better, guys? You know, I think I had that same problem the other night. So somebody said, "Oh, you're cutting off your head, or you're cutting off that." So yeah, just let me know. You know, it is what it is. Like you said, it's a test, and every time I do it, it's probably one of those things where I make some kind of a mistake. So, but the nice thing is with this, I've got a stack of 300. So that's better. Cool. Okay. Well, let me know if there's still any issues. I can tweak it. The program's over on the one monitor. I can just kind of move stuff around. I actually did. You know, you can let me know if I'm missing something. Obviously, that a little bit. Center that a little bit. I did do a gaming one last night too. I do play World of Warships, so I did a test last night too while I was playing that a little bit. Of course, I probably didn't televise some of the better games I had last night because I played a bunch and had fun. You know, did the usual, blew up a lot of shipping. You know, a lot of ships. You know. Died a few times. Yeah, I actually need to see the 3. I started watching it. You know, I'll obviously give that something where I can, you know, watch it on certain days and whatnot. So, you know, they do one a week. I'm not like I'm in a massive hurry. I mean, maybe we can Might have to, play around a little bit with it, maybe. Do a best of series. Hey, Jigglepuff. Not much. As you can see, I'm just working on my bins. So obviously I've got all these Sterilite bins I've been using forever because I have lots of pick-a-bricks. So I'm just doing the old, bins. Yeah. What? Yeah. So my own dividers. Index cards are really cheap. So that was what I figured I'd use. I think most of the ones I was picking up were pretty cheap, like 50 cents for 100. This was, I think, $1.24 for 300. And so, yeah. Well, the thing is, though, if you look, I've got some of the bins like what Kevin's got up on that top shelf, but to buy more bins and then not use what I've got, that's kind of cost effective, not cost effective. See you, Kittenville. Have a good night, buddy. But with this, obviously my investment, for dividers has been, I think I've spent, maybe spent up to maybe $5, including the tape, maybe 10. On these, and so obviously, even if you were to 3D print your own dividers, you're probably looking at even a higher cost than that. And these are the lightweight ones. They do have some heavy weight. I'll have to test and see how well they work. But basically, it's just basically the pieces are just going in there. So unless you've got a ton of pieces, in the middle, they're going to hold up pretty good. I've got some, lots of 1x2s. Obviously, in the end, yeah, I do have, if you guys know, I do have a Band app. We use Band in our group I'm a member of. So it's just called Band. So basically, it's just it's got the big green B and it's just Band. So I've actually got I've got Denlug, and then I've got Assembling Hope, and then of course I've got Friday Night Bricks. But it's just a Band app. So it's just kind of one of those things where and that one's, you can find that one, and that one just if we've got as we get more people in there, we can just talk and whatnot, and maybe most things where the reason I like using it, especially with our group, is it's instant. Like earlier, I found some stuff and I messaged people, and somebody said, "Oh, I'll take one," and then once he said he took one of that Newsweek magazine, I figured, well, better go back and grab a couple more. So, but. Yeah, this is, we're going to try and see how this works. Obviously I can always pull up the Google Hangouts at any time and, start a, good old chat, and something we could always do if anybody wants to, I can. Obviously, depends how late everybody wants to go and everything. So, but it's just a spur of the moment type kind of thing. We're going to do live, that way everybody can talk, chat, whatever. But yeah, so I basically take the 3x5s, I fold them just in half, and they are actually now, they're still under that height for the bins. I did have some 4x6 cards. The 4x6 cards mean trimming and then folding. You will notice with this way with these Sterilite bins is that the center section is probably going to be a little bit wider, but as you see, there's always going to be pieces you lots of. See it jiggle? Right? Got to go? Yeah, I think that's or good to go, or I don't know. But yeah, so it's just one of those things where it just takes about 8 cards per bin, and you just you fold, you go crazy, and you just add more, and so a few people jump in and jump out, it looks like. Actually, the nice thing is the program I'm using will actually give me the viewers up on top too, which is kind of nice. So I can actually see who's viewing without having to really have anything else open. So, which is kind of cool. It's got me. It tells me. Oh, you know what? Crap. Total bytes. I hope if I'm recording it, I might be in trouble. But if I do a long one, so. But it tells me my bit rate, frames encoded, total bytes. how many were dropped, all that stuff. So pretty cool program. So we'll see how that works, and we'll definitely be using it full force on Friday night, since obviously I haven't used this setup for Friday Night Bricks yet. So setup for streaming or setup for like back here when you're talking setup? You're talking like behind me for like bins and stuff? And the setup, you know, for bins wise, I mean, obviously I've got more of the big bins too over here, like the, you know, the 5 high, the 7 high, and they're here, and they're all the way down the hall. And those are the big ones, and those might get dividers too. But what I might have to do is figure out how to like cut these and actually do like, you know, because they're big bins. Some of them are tall too, so I don't even know how to do that. I'd have to figure out how to, you know, drop a few things. Well, I mean, you have to remember now too. I worked for Lego for 7 years. Plus, I started shopping in 2007, I think, 2006, 2007. Started shopping, you know, at the store, at the stores, and basically back then they had the pick-a-brick trees at Colorado Mills, and they just had, you know, a ton of they had a ton of cool stuff. I mean, I bought a lot of stuff. Sometimes full cups of One Element. I do that a little bit now, but not as much. You know, probably got some ones over there where I actually bought little bits of this and a little bit of that. Ice cream would be the exception. I got a whole cup of that. Here we go. Here's one here. So, you know, just, you know, little bits. You know, some of these I probably already have, but do I want more? Yeah, I guess. Why? I don't know. And that's why people laugh when I say I do count some of this stuff. I used to, and I still do occasionally, count as I open up the pick-a-brick cups. My goal is to try and count how many of each piece I have. But the problem there too is I have spreadsheets all over the place, pen drives, paper of different counting, and so I'm probably off somewhere. And so basically, in the end, I might just have to once I get this. Yeah, and that's why I'm trying to get Brick Daddy. That's the thing I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to get this organized. I mean, Kevin is one of those guys that's been kind of pushing a lot, and, you know, saying, you know, hey, you should get organized. You know, and I'm using some of his sorting technique. Most of the bins behind me, most of these small bins are all pick-a-brick elements. I mean, I got fences, noodles. I mean, some is going to be if you're in some of the lugs. Some of it's going to be lug bulk a little bit. But I mean, a lot of it's just pieces that were on the wall that I bought. I thought it was cool. But in the end, some of them, like the blacks and the reds, will probably move all the way back over into the corner. And I used to have bins, you know, over here too, and I don't have any right now. It's you know, I think a lot of them are kind of up here and stuff. Which in the end, you know, I mean, a lot of it's just getting organized, and that's kind of the thing, is it'll. You know, will it ever look like Kevin's? Not unless I hit the lottery, or I don't know, get a much better paying job. I mean, had I still been working for Lego, it might have gotten to be that good at some point, but because I was spending some time doing that. Did spend a lot of time, you know, building the castle and whatnot. But you know, getting organized is always helpful. I did use Digital Designer a lot before. I mean, as I get this organized, I can actually pull out pieces and build, and that's kind of the goal. And I've got some bins behind me. I got under the bed containers, like over there, over my open area, that have like just miscellaneous bricks, grab bags, lug support. You know, you name it, it's over there. I got bins of poly bags that I got to get organized. The goal here, part of the goal here, is if I can get this, if I get these bins done, I can get all these bins and all this stuff off of this area. So it comes time to sorting other stuff, poly bags, stuff like I got counter space where I can lay out, you know, half of those bins, because I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. 30, like 30-some plus bins of poly bags I want to resort, maybe by year or something. Yeah, Pick-a-Brick though, the Pick-a-Brick has always been pretty good. I mean, 3-drawer bins for $3. That's pretty good, Brick Daddy. If it's, especially if it's a Sterilite. I mean, the $3 the 3-drawer bins are $6 at Walmart. The 5s were $10, so like $2 a drawer. That's probably more expensive what you're doing. I just like the 5s because I have those pink bins. There's a lot hidden behind these bins up here. If I can get 2 of those up there, and those have big quantities of stuff. Like I got 2 bins over here that are 1x4 brown tiles, and I got two bins of them, which means it's gonna be a giant Ziploc bag if any of them end up in here. So, but Pick-a-Brick. If you look at Pick-a-Brick online versus Pick-a-Brick in the stores, Pick-a-Brick in the stores is gonna be a lot cheaper. You're not paying it by the piece. Like perfect example, 1x2 translucent clear plates that the Castle has. 10 cents online. So 1,100 of them. What is that, like $110 or something like that? Something crazy like that, probably. So, but if you figure if I get a cup, that's $16. I have about 1,100 in that cup. So you figure it's a better deal if you can do Pick-a-Brick. I mean, and that's why people in the old days, when there weren't as many stores, like when Colorado Mills, where I first started, was like the only store in Colorado, nothing in Arizona. Nothing really anywhere really close. Maybe even before there was Salt Lake, people were driving a long way and going, "Wow, yeah, we've been driving for like 6 hours. We had to come to the Lego store because we had to get some brick. We need some more brick for what we're working on." I mean, and that's when Lego was good. Those were the days when Lego really was really good. Because back then also we could order brick. So I had people coming from New Mexico or Arizona, and they would come up one time and like, "Wow, I'm really looking for 2x6 in gray. We're trying to work on a kind of a castle or something." Like, okay, well, you know what? What's your email? Let me check. Let me see what I can do. Let me see if I can bring them in on one of the next shipments we get, and I'll let you know. And so, and I did, and that's why it was one of those things where after a while people always felt like I wasn't helping everybody that way, but I was. I mean, that's why when people were building on the wall, I always walked up to people, "Hey, what are you working on? You building? What are you building? You building houses, building castles?" And I asked people, "Yeah, well, Pick-a-Brick wall either empty or it just doesn't. It sucks." Yeah, I mean, the mill stores probably had lots of opportunity for lots of brick, and they might have had the trees too. So I mean, they might have been getting a lot of like what we got in the early days of Pick-a-Brick. When we were, I mean, I need to see if I ever had. I'll go looking through my pictures between now and Friday. I'm gonna have to see if I can find some, because I used to have. I don't know if I ever took pictures. That might have been the day before I had a lot of stuff, at the store. Back when I was a little bit poor, when I made the jump from 45,000 a year to 20 or whatever I was making. That was a nail biter. But yeah, I mean, the amount of Pick-a-Brick we had in those days was freaking insane. But I mean, we sold a ton of it, and you had grab bags too. So once the bin got empty, it got dumped into the freaking. When it got too low to where you had to have it keep it full, so that the DMs weren't all over you saying, "Hey, how come that bin's low?" Well before the mixed bins, we dump it into the giant bin, and it get dumped into the grab bags, which were great back then. I mean, it's coming off the wall. I mean, it's brick coming off the wall. Nobody wants it, and it was mixed with a lot of like set brick that you had to get rid of. Sets came back. They had sealed bags that you could maybe pull parts out of. Any of the open bags, you had to just get rid of that brick. But back in the day, I mean that's the stuff. You mix stuff that was good, and you had a combination of everything. So, and that's the thing you're going to hear when I get Kevin and myself and Adam as we warm Adam up. Adam worked retail too. So I mean, it's one of those things where we all worked for Lego. You might even see others join eventually too that have also worked for Lego. Probably avoid trying to bring the ones that currently work for Lego. Don't want to get them, saying stuff that they probably shouldn't talk about. So, but you're definitely gonna see people that have worked for Lego in the past on the streams. You know, and we have lots of stories because we saw a lot of stuff over time. You know. But brick, definitely the Lego stores. You know, I mean, if they ever bring them back to the grandeur, the grandness that they had, you know, maybe 4 years ago, back about between probably, you know, probably about 3-4 years. Probably actually, let's go about 4 to 5 years ago. That was probably right about the time it started to just taper off. And a lot of the stores will say, like, even, you know, Adam, pick brick in some of the stores where you had people that knew the brick, understood the customers in terms of what they were looking to build. You know, it was in our top 5. I mean, it would outsell like that new castle that's out for Hogwarts. Our pick a brick might even outsell that one because there'd be so many people building stuff and so many good bricks on the wall. People would come in thinking they're going to walk away with 1 cup, and they'd walk away with like 6 or 7. Yep. I mean, well, and technically, Discover Mills, Colorado Mills, they still, you know, they kind of might be a little bit. They're not going to claim they are, and it's probably not ever written down that they are anymore. But, I mean, technically, I mean, you know, if they ended up having stuff where they could do it, those were. I mean, that's like I think Kevin or somebody mentioned, the reason that the mills, you know, made it through the, you know, the slow time was the rent. That's probably the only reason they did, when they had that hailstorm last year, they didn't frickin' move the mill stores. They knew the rent was so cheap. So why not just come back, you know? Even though they probably could have had a chance to move, they could have spread the stores out a little bit farther, moved the store up to the far north metro area, and kept one in the south. And what's wild, too, is I heard that at one point in time, I heard rumors through people that were at Colorado Mills that at one point in time, Merlin had actually been talking to them about maybe a Discovery Center at Colorado Mills. And I'm guessing that's died, but I'm sure that was something that, you know, probably could have been cool, you know, have a Discovery Center in the center of town and a Lego store in the north and a Lego store in the south. And, you know, I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, because, you know, the Discovery Center stores really are something that nobody really buys. Well, I mean, but I mean, that's how everything is, you know. Think of all the stuff that, you know, that's just like anything. Think of all of us that were into computers back when I was in high school, back in the 80s. Think of if, you know, I told my parents, you know, hey, you know, what would it be like if I invested in this new up and coming company called Apple, you know? I mean, you know, we all kick ourselves for all the stuff that we did, you know. Yeah, the Merlin stores are a little bit more, but they do sometimes have some stuff that has actually disappeared from Lego stores. They're kind of like U.S. Toy used to be. U.S. Toy used to have a lot of stuff that didn't, that was gone. I mean, U.S. Toys might still be around, but there isn't one in Denver. That one, they closed the one in Denver. So that one, we don't have a U.S. Toy anymore. But they used to carry older set for a longer period of time. I remember seeing, you know, Prince of Persia, you know, well beyond when it was gone. I mean, probably within the last couple of years before it closed, there was probably still Prince of Persia stuff on the shelf. And then they tried to do the brick. They tried to do like a pick-a-brick type kind of thing, but with cheap clone stuff. It was okay. I mean, I bought some. I bought 1 cup of 1x6, I think, clear or something. Yeah, U.S. Toy is kind of they're a weird animal. I know well, they cater to teacher stuff too, like stickers and learning supplies, but they have Playmobil and, you know, all kinds of stuff in there, so they're around. I mean, they might, you know, who knows, they might be walking the same road that Toys R Us is. I don't know. I just know they won't close the one here, but I still get emails, so they still have something. They either have an online presence or they have stores elsewhere, because I still get an email because I had one of their, you know, one of their cards or something at one point. And they had, you know, they used to have. Yeah, I mean, KB, I think I missed all that. I don't know if I was really in the loop, per se, when KB was going under. You know, I might have been, you know, because I don't remember what year they went under. But, I mean, I know I was probably working at the mills at the time, and I probably wasn't part of the loop when all the other members started going over there. And probably most people probably weren't talking about it. They found it was cool. But, you know. or actually, was that KB or yeah, whatever? There's been a bunch, yeah. So yeah, and they've had the Toys R Us. They had the Toys R Us Expresses at Mills for a while too. You know, back in the day before they went under, they opened. They had the little Expresses, and they'd sometimes had some stuff in there. Yeah, KB's. Yeah, KB was. KB, I think I went in a little bit because it was at the Mills. Look at that. I finished a whole slew of them already, so I gotta move some stuff around here because I gotta get these out. Whoops. So I did sort some stuff last night, so I do have some of my clear translucents are right in this one here. Just because I had some... dropped another bin. That's okay. Because I did have some stuff sitting around on the counter here, so... But, yeah, so... Yeah, this will be... I'm going to probably do a few series of this. So this... Actually, I probably should have had a part 1 on there, but... Oh well. It is what it is. Obviously, we'll start with the part 2 or whatever when I come back if we do more. Because actually, it's kind of wild. Is I actually got pretty far this weekend while Kevin and everybody was at Brick Fair and didn't have any distractions this week. So basically, I mean, I actually got a fair amount of these done, which is good because I like to get all of them done. Yeah, I would say local stores, Walmart, Targets. I mean, when Toys R Us was going under, I was hitting the Targets for all the Dimensions. I have a lot of Dimension stuff, but as we listen to Brick Vibe a lot all the time, I mean, it's going to be hard to compete with him unless my stuff is just, I sit on it. Yeah, it's nice to, have other places to get discounts. I mean, you just got to look and see. I mean, there's always stuff on discount, and it's kind of funny. I mean, how much stuff goes in. Well, Walmart had some stuff recently, and I was looking at some of it, but it is what it is. I'm trying to control myself a little bit. I did find a couple Hogwarts trains tonight, Hogwarts Express, the new ones, which I thought was quite humorous. And what's funny is they're selling it cheaper than the Lego store, which is even funnier, so it's crazy. So, because I bought one of those trains, and I'm like, wow, Walmart's selling it cheaper? Dang. But I did get points for it, and I used points to get it, so I guess that's never a bad thing. So, but now this is kind of a neat thing. I think a few people have thought that it was kind of a neat way to do this. I mean, the thing is, though, too, is like you said, if you can get the 3 drawers for $3, and then buy 100 these cards, these index cards for 50 cents, or if you go to Walmart and find a stack of 300 for $1 something, I mean that's you don't you're gonna need a fair amount to do it. But and then just get some tape. I did Scotch a while back, but I mean the other stuff is cheap, and it's basically all it's doing is holding Legos, and it's holding paper together. Oh yeah, the V-Day sets. Well, we had where did I see those? Somebody had them. It might have been Walmart. Walmart generally has stuff too for the when they do their seasonal stuff. I've noticed they're starting to get smart, and they're starting to do like bins, in aisles, which is always good because then you're actually promoting some of your seasonal stuff. And so the last time they had some of the Easter sets, so I bought more of those. I do a fair amount of the Valentine sets too. The seasonal sets like that, the reason I buy those, I buy 5 of those. Hot glue for what, this? No, I just want something quick and not probably smelly or anything. And it's just and it's not once I'm done here, I'll show you. I mean they're not glued down or anything either. They'll pop out. So I mean the goal is it's done, they're in, and away I go to the next one. So I probably could use glue, but yeah. So I mean I collect the seasonal sets. I do 5 of each seasonal set. Those are the ones I usually use for donations. in the poly bags. I think the first one they had was the seasonal set with the people, the springtime, summer, springtime, summer, fall, Thanksgiving. And they did holiday train and Christmas tree or something. So, and so I just use those, and those are what I used to for sure donate a set at Brick World. And now at least they're starting to learn that it makes sense to try and keep those together. You can generally get a little bit more for a whole set, you know, because someone will want the whole set. You know, the person who only needs one set, not really shouldn't cater to them. I mean, you know, they're gonna try and be low, and now they do what's called they just do what do they call it? Yeah, I don't know. They do the list, and you just kind of put your name on it. I mean, I don't think I won one set this year. I won something from Brick Fair, one of their kits from a few years back, in the charity auction / raffle. So a silent auction type kind of thing where you just go over and write your name down. They used to do bidding and stuff on some of that stuff, but I think after a while we just ended up, there was so much stuff donated you couldn't do it on everything. And so there's some auction. This year was one of the first years, I think, that I actually had some stuff actually in the auction, which is actually pretty cool. I like that. You know, because the auction, you just never know what's going to go stuff. Well, I had a backpack last year, a Lego backpack, but it went a lot higher. The stuff inside wasn't as good as what the backpack went for. So kind of felt a little bit bad there, but did a Munchkin kit this year that went in the auction. So, you know, it's what it is. But yeah, I mean, it just takes time to get this many pieces, and the problem is too I have so many pieces. It's sickening on how many pieces I got, and they're scattered everywhere. The other thing too is, I mean, you could always look for collections. We got a few people that are doing that now. The market's a little bit tougher now since Lego has really started to come back. Certain areas are going to be a lot tougher on the market than others, just because people are watching it all the time. You know, you got people around here that, you know, continually watch and whatnot and find good deals and stuff. I mean, I used to find good deals and I used to look, and I don't really look as much as I used to, just because I mean, I don't, you know, have as much money. Plus, it's one of those things where technically I really don't need any more right now. I actually passed on free lug brick at the last meeting just because I'm like, I have way too much brick right now. So I'm going to use some duck invisible tape here. So 3,000 inches. Probably going to need all 3,000. So, but yeah, it just takes time. I mean, your collection will get bigger than you can imagine. You know, as you give it time. And at some point, it's going to get way bigger than you ever thought it should get, but it is what it is. I mean, you know, most people will tell you can never have too much, so don't worry about that. But, oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple sets. I mean, I actually was in the Lego store the other day, and I bought, what did I bought? I bought more of the, oh, it's over there. More of the food sets. My bears are eating. They always like to eat, so more of the food sets, a couple of the small Arctic sets. I still need a lot of the big Arctic sets, and I got, just to kind of get that green thing. Minifigs, yeah, I've got pretty much every series except for the soccer, for the CMFs, and then for sets and minifigs. I mean, I do get a fair many. You know, obviously the ice bears for Chima. Were pretty cool. So, you know, minifigs help you tell a story. That's what it's all about. I mean, that's why people laugh. They're like, you know, why is because I used to have Finn tipping over the porta potty with Kylo Ren in it. You know. Yeah, I thought somebody said they were supposed to be available August 1st. Are they not out there? I haven't looked, so I don't know. I mean, somebody I thought in the stream last week or something said they were supposed to be available August 1st. We can take a look real quick here. Of course, I got that site always up, always quick. Let's see here. Oh, you know what? They are out. They are out. What says coming soon? So I don't know when they're coming. Maybe it's September 1st. I don't know. It says coming soon. I have nothing else too. If you have a VIP card, maybe sign in under your VIP card and see if they're doing an early release or something. Yeah, so I mean, I just looked just now, and they're starting. I mean, it pulled up, like when I did type extra, it pulled up food accessories and the street lights or street lamps, but they both say coming soon. So I don't know when they're going to hit online. I mean, it is kind. I mean, I mean, they probably already should be. They've been in the stores for a while, so to be not on the online is kind of crazy right now. I mean, to tell you the truth, you know. Truly, if they're trying to market, you know, a lot of that stuff to multiple people. So, which one are you looking for? Are there certain ones you're looking for? Well, no, I mean, but you should still. I mean, if you know, even the VIP, you just sign into using your Lego.com ID, whatever your ID is. When you sign into the website, your VIP automatically pulls up because that's what you're using. That's why years ago they put all that together. So if you lose your VIP card, well, all I like to do is sign into your Lego.com account, you know. And if you're like me, the bikes and the street lamps, yeah, I think I got 2 of each of those just for that. I mean, when I was in the store the other day, though, it was kind of funny. He's like, yeah, all we got is the food sets. I'm like, well, that's good for me because I don't mind the food sets. The food sets are pretty cool. I just like them because, you know, obviously I've got 800 ice bears to feed, you know, so the carrots are cool. The turkeys are cool. There's just cool stuff. And for me, I'm working on a couple other projects too. I've got an outstanding project for one of the board games I play. I want to make out of Lego, and it does use food pretty heavy in that game. So originally I was going to use the food just kind of on the board itself, but I might actually use more of it in the game. And so if I have lots of that to use, yeah. The greenery's good. I mean, I've lucked out and I've actually gotten a fair amount of greenery over time. And so for me, to me also, I'm getting into that mock mentality now where I'm going to really start building trees. That's what I'm doing behind me. So I can actually do build trees. That's why I've got lots of, you know, that's why all my slopes, all my brown slopes are separated. So I can do the bases, build the bases. I mean, I've got somewhere the big brown arches for tree leaves, tree branches. I have a bunch of those somewhere because I had them on the lug bulk project, the lug bulk program at one point. So yeah, this tape doesn't come off the thing as smoothly as the other stuff, the Scotch, but it works. So basically, the goal here is to just, you know, the goal is to be organized to some extent, like Kevin said. You know, I mean, his sorting, you know, like the sorting process, as long as you're a member of like a Lego user group, you know, and stuff like that, or you continually buy stuff at the stores, you're always going to have, you know, more stuff to kind of sort. You know, the goal is to kind of get as organized as you can. Yeah. Okay. See, Brick Bender. What? Where are you at? You're out east, right? You're like at least one time zone away, maybe 2. That's cool. Yeah, we'll see you on Friday, I'm sure. I'll remember to send out an invite. Basically, it's yeah. I mean, basically on Friday, I'll send out 15 invites. Whoever gets in there first, I guess. Unless I can do 2 chats. Yeah, Central Time. I did apply for a job where I might end up in Central Time. We'll see. That's where my folks are at. Well, have a good night, Brick Bender. We will catch you later. We'll catch you Friday for sure. Talk to you later. Have a great night. Good night. Have a good night. Sweet dreams of Lego. Is there anybody else in the chat right now? I do not know. Oh, Brick Daddy, you're there, huh? Cool, cool, cool. It's always good. Somebody's watching, somebody's listening. You know. And those actually, if you look at my pictures, like the one that's over here, that was actually, I had a photo shoot done recently. One of the women I met at the St. Baldrick Shave is a photographer, and she offered to take some pictures of the castle. So she took some pictures. I was able to set it up at my at the office where I currently work. The upstairs is vacant, so I was able to set it up. Did have some black cloth to help add to the background. Some pictures are better than others. Obviously, I'll live and learn for the next one. But it would be nice. It was nice to have some pictures. I mean, good good promo pictures for the castle. I mean, obviously, they could always be better. I could always have maybe more of that castle. But I mean, how many ice bears and saber-tooths do you really need to see? I guess. I mean, everybody would laugh. Everybody laughs. Kevin laughs right now. Do you really need more ice bears? I did give some to Richard Glatter. They are actually going to the big train show in Kansas City. So he's building a Lego campground. So I sold him a couple of the old city campers I have. And so basically, I just said, here's a box of ice bears, so there's like 3 of them in there. Throw them in the campground, maybe, If you've only asked why there's a cold weather animal, in a warm atmosphere. But, we're good friends. We've gone, we met years ago at Brick World. He did buy some of the stuff. He bought the stuff in the charity auction at Brick World that I donated in memory of Taylor the first year. So it was one of those things I trade. I guess in the end I kind of traded the cafe, but I got a hobby train, which I have one open. And so that was what I donated the one year. That and a couple of the wrist things for Taylor, and I can't remember what else I donated. One of these weeks I get Richard on there, I'll try and remember what else was in there, if there was anything else. But it's always good to, I always donate a lot. I try to donate as much as I can every year at Brick World. It's always good to donate in memory of all those people that made the that helped make the castle more larger than life. If you guys look at the video, the test I did yesterday, it does have the video. I need to run that video on YouTube, but I think I'm going to try and add some talking into it. Maybe try and avoid some of the copyright issues I might end up with. That or my old boss. His son does some custom stuff, so I might see if he can maybe make me some custom music or something. So, but it is what it is. So this has been my project for the last couple of days, just trying to get this organized. It is what it is. Basically, it's just like I said. These are 3x5 index cards, and this is a stack of 300. This should be enough to finish what I got going right now, which would be good. And then, at some point, it's just, there's so much stuff here I'd like to get organized, and so the goal is, once you get organized, you can build, a lot easier. Let me just check my phone. No, not that. I don't want that. This. We do have a band app we use in our group, so we're talking about a haul they got. And that's kind of things too, is we get to, with the band app in our group, people post stuff pretty instantly. Stuff going on, talk about shows, The nice thing is you can do chats with just one member if you want. Just do like kind of like a private chat and just message them if you're just trying to talk to them. It's instant. It's kind of like just being like a like a messenger type thing, but it's for the group. So anything in the news feed, anything in the certain chat rooms, train show, hobby expo, whatever. Everybody can see it. Everybody can talk about it. We do have a bunch of shows coming up, and that's what I need to figure out what I'm doing for work. I'm not super enjoying my job right now. It's okay. It doesn't pay a lot, so it's a struggle. It's a struggle month to month. I will not lie. Especially since I do like to buy Lego. I guess probably the big thing I need to do is probably just sell more of what I've got. It could affect Polybag Wars a little bit, but everybody forgets I do have a lot of duplicates. So it is what it is. So yep. So this is basically all I'm doing is just I'm taking index cards, folding them in half. The one thing I did point out earlier is the center section is a lot larger. So any of the colors that I've got that have a lot of pieces in them will end up in that middle section or a bigger piece. Let's see how many bins. So let's see here. Those are 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. Oh, actually 80, almost about 90 done. About 90 are done. Have to do 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, 40, 45, 55, because I got 2 5s I still need to buy. The one Walmart I walked into had 3 5s, and that was it, and so I bought them. So I'd have more to do tonight. The 5s, as I pointed out earlier, are nice. They'll give me 2 nice bins on top of them of the other stuff. The other bins might give me 3 perhaps, but if nothing else, 2. I've got lots of molds and stuff that'll end up on top of a lot of those bins too. All the molds for the Hope Castle. I mean, I got molds for walls. I got molds for the keep, which I have regretfully lost somewhere. They're somewhere around here. I need to find them because I was gonna build some more levels, and so because as I raise the castle, I want to raise the keep. So 4 days and done. 4 days of what? 4 days of this? I guess it depends how motivated I get. Well, the nice thing too is as I finish them, they've got pieces in some of them, so they're moving around. So like I've got black, red, actually black, brown, green, red, white, purple, translucent, gray. It's just gray. There's bins on there having sorts. Actually, maybe not quite 90 yet. Blue, dark red, tan. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff scattered everywhere. Like I said, it's pick-a-brick. The one bin that's not sorted over here has, I think, a set. Maybe a set I destroyed or something. I don't even know. It's got lots of red, so probably a fire truck set, maybe. Actually, you know what? I know what it is. It's parts from the original boat from Brickworld, 2012, I believe, when I built it around the race car. Back there, that year they had that little race car, so I built it around that. So, and I dumped the bin earlier when I did this. Dumped my the 1x2s with 2 studs on them. Those actually technically could get dumped out of that cup. I move these, dump those into here. Okay, that cup's done. So, I mean, the goal is to get them done as quickly as I can. It'd be nice to be nice to have an open counter behind me. All the Ziploc bags, all the extras are right here at my feet kind of now, but I have bins scattered around. I mean, basically that whole area, the whole living room is going to get redone. All the shelves are going to get set. Basically I'm going to have it so that there's more shelves, and so stuff slides in a little bit easier. So it's not stacked as much because the stacking just kind of leaves lots of holes here and there. And so if I make it smaller. Now the other problem too is these poles for if you look at this, if you look at these guys here, so the poles like over here are the ones that are going to the floor at 72. Well, these here are like 56, and they go to the ceiling, but they're sitting on the table. So the problem I have is the fact that I almost wish I had like 92-inch poles for over there, so I could do a couple, at least maybe one more shelf. So the top shelf always has higher stacks, but also stuff can get more damaged up there too. So and that's why over here it's all bins. And some are collections, I will not lie. I mean, some of them have been collections acquired, and I started sorting a little bit of them by figs, by plates, by whatever, so they're kind of in there. And eventually, those are all the collection stuff will probably just get sorted into whatever, but separate from whatever. Oh, you know what? I've actually got some bins that are a little bit different than those. Might be a little bit bigger. So I mean, I've got bins scattered everywhere. That's the kicker. Most of them should be here now. Most bins should be here, except for the big ones over here, which in the end might be like overflow for even the 17-gallon bins. I mean, they might get a lot of stuff over here in these bins, or that's where all the collection stuff will end up in the big deep bins where it's where it's not really sorted. Kind of like Kevin's still to sort stuff. So minifigs. Might have like all the plates, all that stuff, and some of those bins might be multiple. Might have to have multiples because plates. There's a lot of plates these days. So, but it is what it is. So, but yeah, I mean, goal is just to keep doing it, keep going, keep growing, keep grinding. I could be doing a lot of other stuff, but I mean, it felt good to have so much open area behind me here. I mean, that was just, made me ecstatic yesterday. I looked at it, I was like, wow. And this is crazy. I mean, I haven't seen that counter in a while. I mean, obviously I've got some space over here too that, is opened up a little bit. But I've actually done 2 shelves of built sets over there. So, and those will need to be at some point, worked on a little bit, and those shelves might have to be narrower too. Because the biggest thing I have built is that I'm actually using is the Imperial flagship, but that one I guess I could probably take down all the I don't know, all the stuff that holds it up, whatever. Brain fart, can't think of it, but. Otherwise, I mean, I have trucks built. I have stuff, scattered all over the place. I mean, I might have some buildings built. I mean, I know I've had some stuff built that might be partially somewhere together. And that's kind of the key, is to try and get everything organized. Once the parts are organized, then if I take something apart too, like Kevin said, you take it apart. It goes into the bins. You've got the parts again. You know where they're at, and that's kind of the kicker. So, looks like we might have picked up a viewer. I'm not sure. It says there's 2 viewers on my fancy dancy program I'm using. I don't have to really go anywhere and look special. So, and of course, my freaking phone is blowing up. So, but yeah. Might as well. Yeah. So So basically, I don't know. We got 2 viewers. So anybody else in there, feel free to mention your name in the chat. Not sure who it is. You know, feel free to mention what time zone you're in. But basically, the one thing I'm going to do. Imperial soldiers are expensive. Yeah, oh, for the boats and stuff? My boat is actually, I'll actually bring it out on Friday Night Bricks. It has special sails, so it only has ice bears on it. All the Imperial soldiers and stuff are the enemy, and they are scattered somewhere. So, but, you know, it is what it is. I mean, if you've seen some of the capes on the ice bears, I've obviously got sails just like that, and actually, I can probably, if you want to hold on for 2 seconds, I can open up my bin. I need to go to Brickfest. Actually, no, Brickfest Live 16. No, that's not it. Maybe is it Denver Brickfest 16? Nope, that's not it. Where is it? Actually, I wonder if... Dun, 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 dun. I was hoping I would be able to find it easily. I'm just going to look real quick here, looking for a picture of the ship. Let's see if I got it. I don't think that's... No, that's not what I'm looking for. Boat. No, not the boat I'm looking for. See, I had most of my shows kind of organized, and they aren't as organized as I would hope right now, so I'm not sure. It should have been the Brickfest stuff. But I'm not seeing it. Let's see here. Oh, maybe in here. Give me 1 second. Nope. Nothing there. BMS, Brookworld, Castle Hope. No, I don't think that's it. No, that's not it. I was really hoping it was going to be there, but that's not it. See, that's the problem, is I misplaced. I mean, I need some more organization here. So, maybe show pics? Nope, that's not it either. Well, actually had some special sales. You know what? Let's see here. Found something where it came off another laptop. So let's see here. Well, there's the Brickfest Live setup. Dun, dun, dun. Give me 1 second here. Be patient. Found something where there's a ton of pictures in here. Because they actually we had one Brickfest Live where they put my castle in the middle, and we had ships surrounding it, and it was, that one I think was the show where I had the best pictures of that ship. Wow. Yeah, here we go. I found it. Okay, so let's see here. We're going to go ahead and add a source. I'm going to add a media file. I'm going to go to this guy. Where I'm at, I'm in the Toshiba folders. Give me 1 second here. Toshiba, and we're going all the way to make sure let's do 4749. So there you go. There is the sales for the ship. So you can kind of see them there. It's kind of, as everybody joked, just says, "Oh, you cut up your underwear." I'm like, ice bear underwear maybe, but not me. So it's pretty cool. I mean, you know, basically, and we had, I mean, it was wild because we had ships all over, you know, all around the castle, you know, just bombarding it with stuff. So, but that was kind of one of those things where, and like I said, I'll have to make some media files, you know, and stuff to kind of go through there. But yeah, it was kind of cool. It's one of those, you know, ones where, I mean, it was the last one where, you know, pretty much where a castle wasn't on mills with a set setup. So to do it again would be a little bit tougher. It'd be more of just a free setup. But oh yeah. So I mean, we had, you know, we do all kinds of stuff. I mean, I'll put a lot of those pictures out here at some point. I'll have to make some kind of a media file that just kind of scrolls through, because there's a lot of good stuff. That was a good year where we had a lot of people there. All the old ladies, huh? Well, I don't know. I do not know. All I know is it was quite humorous when we did it, but that's the thing. I mean, just like anything else, I mean, that's what's going to be my other series. Other than just doing these bins and Friday Night Bricks, I'll have some little segments on doing capes. That's the other reason to get this back here cleaned up, is so that I can actually, you know, have room to, on a countertop, maybe slide one of these cameras over there and have you see me apply stuff, and then it'll go up and it'll hang up here on the stuff. So I'm gonna have to clean the kitchen too, because a lot of my stuff is in on the other side of a messy kitchen. But pretty cool though. So I mean, yeah, I mean it's always I mean it's a project to get organized. So I don't know, you know, how organized everybody else is. I mean, obviously, I've had my moments of somewhat organization, and then it just blows up and gets out of control again. And you know, I mean, that's how it is with, I mean, hopefully most people. I mean, Kevin's spent a lot of time on his, and he's got a couple kids who can help him, you know, and stuff, you know. Especially if he wants to be down there, you know, sorting. I mean, I guess to spend time with Dad, I guess you gotta come down and spend time with Dad down in the basement sorting. I think his older son doesn't mind, you know, doing some of it, you know. Nothing else. It's good hand-eye coordination, you know, looking, sorting, throwing, you know, stuff into different bins. I mean, that's kind of how I am. I got the bins over there, and there's just, you know, I'm just throwing stuff. I was throwing stuff constantly in there. I mean, the plates bin had actually already been filled once, the 17-gallon bin. I actually had to take all the ones that were in Ziploc bags and throw them in another bin, just so I could actually dig through the actual plates. And that's kind of the one thing, whatever you do. I mean, I think Kevin's start is good. You know, get some big bins, start sorting by plates, slopes, 2-bys, 1-bys, you know, stuff like that, and just kind of go crazy, you know. Okay, so these bins are starting to get in the way. So the goal too is to move. Yeah, just followed on Instagram. Yeah, Assembling Hope. Is that what you followed on? Assembling Hope. That one, I mean, I haven't done much on. I need to actually. I was just looking at that today. I'm gonna do. I'll have to pick up my pace a little bit on Instagram, Twitter. Twitter, I've only really been using when I was doing stuff for the castle. But I'll actually have to start doing that a little bit more, especially since I'm using the logo on here. I will have to do a little bit more. It's something where maybe it'll help the stuff. I think Instagram, like everybody says, is used a little bit more, so I'll have to try that and see how that goes, and just kind of go from there and see how it goes. So, but oh yeah, I mean, Kevin kind of when we started the Assembling Hope, when I started it after Kevin designed the logo, it was to set up all those accounts. It's just like everything else. I mean, you've got so much to do. It's like, where do you pick what to do and what gets left out? And so some of that stuff does get, kind of missed. And as I get farther along, and maybe as I get if I ever get the 501c3 for Assembling Hope, maybe a lot of it will be more important even then. So kind of working on stuff. You know, we'll see. I'm doing the Brick World Wisconsin show, trying to see if the Children's Hospital in Madison wants some stuff. Maybe take some poly bags and donate those at the hospital. I mean, the one thing I'd really like to do, and I don't know if it's going to be possible, is maybe try to figure out a way to, do one of these, do like a live stream from Brick World, Wisconsin, but have a way to, have it kind of, advertised, at the hospital where, parents can say, oh, he's at the, this guy's at the Lego show. Yep, he's at the Lego show. He's got a very special creation regarding, children's cancer, and so he's going to try and stream. So I mean, that's one of my main goals, is to try and do some streaming from the show, but somehow have people at the hospitals kind of have links to the YouTube and whatnot, so people can watch. And so that might be the one thing that might have to do, that might just really kind of jumpstart this the whole project. So and Friday Night Bricks obviously is still going strong. I mean, we're still doing good. I mean, okay, no problem. We'll catch you later, Brick Daddy. I might probably call it here about 10 anyways, and just kind of, it's just a small one. I might keep going, but I mean, no point in doing this. But have a good night. Sweet dreams. Dream of Lego, I guess. I have been lately. Kind of scary. Maybe I'll do a gaming one, maybe. Maybe I can't this late. Have a good night. Ooh. Lost a viewer, maybe picked up a viewer. If you're watching and you are, feel free to talk in the chat. Let me know what your, any questions, what you're thinking. I'm basically just working on, creating dividers for the Sterilite bins I've got. So I've had a few people. Looks like the program I'm using now that gives me this multi-view. It tells me I've got viewers up on top, so I don't really have to go anywhere special to look. But so far I've done about 90 to 100 bins worth of these dividers. It's basically just, if you're someone new just joining me, they are 3x5 index cards. And they are just, folded in half. Then they are not taller than the top of the bins. I have another stack of 300 here, and I got some heavyweight, which I haven't gone to. So, but basically, I'm doing this so that my collection behind me, as you can see, is easier to be a little bit organized. I do have the giant clear Hope Castle, so I've got like here. There's a drawer of 1x1 plates, 1x2 plates, and then 1x2 tiles. Headlight bricks in clear, 1x2 bricks in clear, and then this will be 1x1 in clear once I get them. So, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm just trying to get it more organized. Everybody knows that most of us that collect Lego, as you get farther into collecting, you have a lot more brick. And to have it organized, you can build is good. I have heard one of the old Lego employees that lives on the East Coast actually tries to keep his stuff in front of him. So some of these colors, like I got black and red over here, those are going to probably end up on the other end, kind of away from my normal build area. I want all the colors I'm going to build here, because I do mills plates that are generally snow. Yeah, so basically, I mean, I've got a new program I've been using. I do the Friday Night Bricks, 7 o'clock, and so basically trying to do the different screens. So I've got one screen here, which is focused on the building area. I've got a screen here, which is focused on me. Obviously, it shows the bins that I'm actually doing in the back here. So as you can see, there's all these have dividers in them. They have that 2 lines in there. You can see, and then basically Assembling Hope is my nonprofit, and then of course the other picture down low over here is me. With the Hope Castle that I built. I mean, it'll be at Brick World, Wisconsin here in a few weeks. But yeah, so I'm just building dividers for these bins. I use 3x5 index cards, fold them in half, use Scotch tape them, and then they basically, what it's going to do is it's just going to help me take a bin of this size and make it into 3 bins. The center section will be a larger section, so it will be some of the bigger pieces will probably end up in there. So, but if you've got bins, rather than have to go and tweak all your, go buy different bins, these bigger, the big bins like what Kevin Hinkle's got, I mean, they're a little bit more expensive too. I mean, I'm going to use what I've got. Most of this brick is all pick-a-brick or stuff like that. So, yeah. Well, thanks, Johnny. I mean, it's one of those things where it's just a group of us. Kevin Hinkle and myself started it 18 weeks ago, and it just it's been something we've been doing every week. It's just nice to get together with friends and fellow AFLs and sort and talk. I mean, the stories are always good. If you want, I mean, it's one of those things where feel free to watch the stream. I mean, as there's nights where we don't have a lot of spots. Feel free to let me know. Send me an email. You can maybe pop in, talk a little bit, whatnot. It's not something that it's just going to be the same select group. We are adding people as we go, but right now I send out probably 15 invites right off the bat, and so if the 10 spots could fill pretty quickly. Now I might be able to try and see if there's a way to do multiple calls with this new window thing and see if I can make it even crazier. So, but yeah. And plus I'm a gamer, so this is kind of cool. I play World of Warships, so I tried it last night doing one of those games too, which is kind of cool. So, but yeah, I mean, Friday Night Bricks, and if you're an AFL and you like building or TFL or whatever, obviously the range of what could be on here is vast. Now I'm going to do a couple series. This is one of the things I'm working on right now. The other thing I do is I do have custom capes. I have custom capes for all my ice bears. So I'm going to do a little small series on using different cloth to make more capes, or as you've seen the new tent series. ABC mentioned. Oh, okay. ABC. Might want to, if you can. Yeah. I'm not sure if I know exactly who that is. Oh, my shirt. Yeah, the brick. Yeah, the brick. Yeah. It'd be nice if I could get royalties off of that. But, yeah, that's one of the things I started at BrickCon 2016. Figured, maybe I'll try and put the badge on the shirt. And it just, because I've liked a few people's badges before that have done some cool things, but I had a tough time getting a hold of that person to get his plans. So I figured I'd throw in the shirt, and I change the shirt pretty regularly, so I've got lots of shirts. And actually now, I mean, there's now less room for signatures. I used to have people sign it, so. Oh, yes. And actually, you know what? I actually need to double check to make sure, because I was actually looking at that the other night too. I'm trying to make sure that I am following all the people that are following me. So, thanks for saying that. I got to see if I've actually. Let's see here. I'm trying to do that. Anybody that's kind of joining me, oh, there we go. Yep, I actually was not, so that's good. Okay, appreciate that. That's a thumbs up for me, because I actually like to. I've been trying to do that the other night. I was just trying to make sure I go through and I get subscribe to the people who are subscribing to me and that are helping me and all that. So because it's we're in a great group. The AFLs are great. Hopefully one of these days we'll all maybe get a chance to maybe one of these days we'll get more people like on that cruise. From all over the world. The cruises are kind of more universal. You get people from all over. I want to maybe try that one of these years, but I am kind of trying to change jobs right now, so we'll see how that works. But it's good that she mentioned it. She's good because she's joined us a few times, so it's she's now become kind of one of those regular people on there. So Bricksmith is the one person that Kevin kind of put me in touch with, and so we've kind of been. A lot of that group is, a lot of that circle that he's got, and then you just keep adding people. I do have my own group here that I found at Denlug, and so my members are jumping on here or there, and so it's kind of things where, people do like to sort and build with friends. It's kind of things where it's nice. Sitting here doing this, I actually got a fair amount of this done the other night, and so it was just, testing this new thing, which everybody seems to be liking, and that's kind of cool. I guess it's not going to be very popular on a phone, as somebody said the other night, because it is kind of small, but we'll see. The nice thing is too, is I can one of the windows will be the Google Hangouts, and when they're highlighted, it'll take the whole screen, so it'll still be pretty awesome. So, but you know, here's what it is. We all learn as we go. Technology is kind of one of those things that, you know, is ever evolving. So, and this is kind of things. I think I'm saving this too, which is gonna be interesting. Thank God I actually have a. I think I bought a 1 terabyte hard drive the last time my last one died, so I think I've got plenty of space right now for this. So that's always a good thing. But yeah, avid gamer 2, World of Warships, Stronghold Crusader 2 just came out. Kind of like that, but I don't like that as much. I don't like it as much as the old one. The old one, the graphics might not have been as great for the people and stuff, but the action was a lot quicker, a lot easier to play with, less lag, less, you know, craziness. So, but what do you like to build, Johnny? Any certain kind of themes you like more than others? Wow. 196 channels. I don't think I've gotten that high yet. Slowly. I think probably as I get more people coming into mine, I mean, that's the thing, I got to go back through on some of those old ones on the chat and go back and start, you know, following some of those people. That way if I didn't subscribe. Pirates, yeah. Do some Pirates. Pirates is one of those things I do have. Do have some of that stuff. I bought some of the older Pirates back in the day. And Insectoids. Is that from? I don't think I have those. Bought some of the ones from the last space they did, that Galaxy Squad. I bought some of those. So a lot of space stuff, huh? 80s Space was kind of one of my favorites. I might have to pull out my bin one of these weeks. It's part of the bin is sitting over there somewhere in one of them. Star Wars I don't really do a lot of. Use the Force, my young Padawan. So being Yoda being one of my favorite characters, I do have to do. I usually purchase anything that usually has him in it. So I bought his hut. I think I might have built his hut. Trains. Yeah, I do have trains. Trains I do have. I did build the Hogwarts Express and tweaked it a bit. I'm missing a bin somewhere. Okay. So I'm missing a bin somewhere. Actually, I think I'm going to have to use this as a mold. Plastic space is always a good theme. I mean, that's always good. It'd be kind of nice if they would just go to, you know, just a space theme next to Star Wars. We do as like an augmentation, you know. But and that's kind of the thing, is it's now so theme orientated these days that, you know, a lot of it. I mean, Castle, perfect example. Nexo-Knights, really. And you have all these other themes and all these other stories. You got Ninjago and all this stuff. You mean, just keeping a few basic themes is never a bad thing. And that's going to be a tangent that I go on a lot. And I'm sorry, but it's one of those things that's. I mean, I like Castle right now. I mean, I like space. Obviously, thankfully, City hasn't gone crazy on that. I mean, and the nice thing is they had idea books all the years. Maybe they need to just do more idea books again. Raised base plates, I got a few floating around. I haven't really used too many of them. I'll figure out a way. I mean, most of my castle's on mills, so it's one of those things where the raised base plates, I guess I could try to use if I could tweak it into being an elevated mills type thing or extra higher. So I mean, I've got them. Always had great ideas for them. Probably never really did much with them. But yeah, I've got a few floating around somewhere. Yeah, and the castle right now, because of Nexo, I mean, isn't great. Now, what I am doing is I am buying, I don't know where he went from last night. I am buying some of the mechs, like anything that's a mechanical type kind of big mech. Those I am buying, just from the simple fact that with my Hope Castle, my goal is to have an army attacking it that doesn't really try to alienate themes, I guess. I mean, obviously, with Nexo Knights gone, or going, or whatever, all the monsters are basically a cancerous army right now. So, but if it's mechanized or monochromatic, somebody's been talking about that. Maybe me trying that. Maybe you could try that at some point, and I might have to do that. Could probably use my stuff. Yeah, Kevin's a big Mario guy. I mean, he's got a lot of mocks around that stuff. So, I have an old Commodore in the closet. One of these days, I'll figure out how to get that getting that working, because I did play a lot of. I did like the. I don't know if I'd like it now, because it probably wouldn't be as fast as some of the stuff, but I did like the old Fantasy series on the Commodore. Actually, on the Commodore, and then I liked like the winter games, summer games, all that stuff. Also, really take the joystick and just kind of almost break them half the time. I do have a 486 sitting right over here. I have an old 486 450 sitting right down there. This white one right here, this white case, and that is what I use for when I play Grandest Fleet, Conquest of the New World. So like that, Grandest Fleet was a great turn-based battleship game, and it was always cool. Even it's a hex game, and it takes a long time to play, but the ships would turn and fire, kind of like what World of Warships does, but just even as a basic thing. Planes would fly out, come back. It's a cool game. It had levels of rank for officers, and then levels for like towns up to mayors or governor or whatever. So I was trying to raise the game all the way up those levels. So, and these just come out, so I'm just going to take these out and lay them back here for now, since I got bins over here that need to, so. But I mean, actually, a lot of the games that I've played in the past are starting to really fall off with these new OSs. You can't play them as much. Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds was a big one I played. I used to play that pretty heavily back when they used to have MSN, and we used to have the Week of War, or whatever. We actually the group I belong to, Team Supreme, we rocked it a couple times. I mean, we'd play the first day, and we'd wall up anybody we played, and then nobody play us again. So it's kind of hard to win a week when because I'd be in the room and I was one of the weakest players, and then as soon as I'm sitting there, they jump in, and then all the other guys would jump in. So Age of Empires 3 I enjoy. That one, because of the cards and stuff, the shipments from home, I can probably go toe to toe with a fair amount of people on that one because of the extra. But I'm an economy gatherer type person, so in those games I just go crazy for that stuff and gathering and stuff. So, but yeah, Lego's kind of one of those things where I should build more of that stuff. What do I have? My mom has a 2600 back in the Midwest, so I used to play that. I have a Commodore 64, actually a Commodore 128 with the 64 monitor and the 128 drive and all that. So I got a bunch of that stuff floating around here somewhere. I have a lot of PCs. So I have obviously the 386 down here, or the 486 here. I think I have a 386 or 486, SCSI tower, twice that height somewhere. I have an XP machine with a custom case, and then I have a PS2 just because I got it for the Hot Shots golf game, and that's pretty much it. I don't have any of the new stuff. I do need to probably get something just to be able to play the Lego Dimensions, which I'm sitting on an absolute ton of right now. Sitting on a bunch of the starter sets too, because they went discontinued. Some of them had the Supergirl, so I was acquiring those for resell. But yeah, platforms I didn't really get much into because I've been playing PC games since the 90s. So I mean, I've got a case of games that was probably like 3 inches thick or something, just tons of PC games. I mean, I just have tons of them, and I played with a lot of guys, so we played on lots of groups. The Team Supreme group played a lot, and then we played. What did we play? Gosh, all those ones like Age of Empires. I'm having a brain fart. There were so many. So I don't have. You know what? The cassette. I don't know if I did much with the cassette. The cassette. I think I had the 20-minute wait on the discs. Maybe. You know. I mean. The problem is I'd have to see if it would all still start up. I actually played it when I was up at college, up at University of La Crosse. We played that a lot. I mean, it's funny is I got kicked out because I didn't do my classwork, but it wasn't for drinking and all that stuff. It was for stuff like that, gaming and then hall council and all that stuff. So kind of crazy, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'd wait for it. I mean, heck, the 486. I mean, on that Grandest Fleet, I mean, the computer might take half an hour, you know, or might take 10 minutes, 15 minutes to actually think of its moves once you get far enough in the game where you've got, you know, 100, 200 ships you're moving around. It does take time. I mean, that's, you know, unfortunately, I mean, I don't know if I could even, those are good games, Spy Hunter. I don't know if I could actually even get, I mean, I actually keep trying to get Grandest Fleet to work in an emulator on one of these faster machines where the computer could think in a split second. Would be kind of funny. And I don't know if I could install Windows 3.11 or DOS onto a new computer. I don't think it even would work. So, thankfully, emulators exist. I mean, the only other big role-playing game I played that I really enjoyed, and I miss it, my friend down in Florida, I think playing on an emulator, is Earth and Beyond. It didn't have a big base. And then I think once Eve came out, everybody must have just jumped on that bandwagon. And my friend did jump on that. But Earth and Beyond, I liked the perspective. I liked the way it worked. I mean, it was kind of blocky, but man, I loved the way it worked. I could mine and watch and have fun. And I mean, yeah, you know, it got crazy. There was lots of controversy in that game. You know. You get guys too close to when an asteroid blows up, they accuse you of killing them and stuff, and yeah, it was crazy. I mean, luckily I could jumpstart people and stuff. I mean, I liked it. And there's a lot of games out there that have just gone by the wayside that really kind of suck. I mean, yes, if I ever win the lottery, maybe that'd be the thing I could do, is maybe start one of those games back up. And oh, this is a big file. I'm at a gig already, I think, for this live stream. Probably because I'm saving it. I might have to uncheck that box, I guess. Never really did much on Apple. I mean, I guess some of the best games, you know, some of the oldest games I played were on the phone dial-up thing, where we dialed into, like, I don't know, a university computer or something. Somewhere. The one game I always loved was Swarm. A bunch of killer bees, and you had to, like, nuke cities or try pesticides and stuff to try to keep from killing millions of people while trying to get rid of all the bees. That was a fun one. I probably have a printout somewhere in all my stuff somewhere. Probably in my folders that I probably should look at more often. And that's my next project, is as I finish all this stuff, is to actually get and start cleaning paperwork. In case I got to move. I think every time I move, I throw a ton of paper into a giant box and never really get back to it. Kind of a pack rat that way. So. But so what's one of your best mocks right now? Lego mocks. And do you have like a do you have a Flickr? Yeah. I mean, if you're as old as me, you're right. I mean, yeah. First console was frickin' the ones that everybody wants all the cartridges for now. That's the thing. But even then, computers back then, you know, everybody's like, we're on instant streaming internet. Can you imagine trying to do this on a 14.4 baud modem or something? It'd be just like, your hands would be just kind of, you know, it'd be freaking people out. It'd be like, whoa, what is that? Because I actually played on the predecessor to AOL. It was on the Commodore. The Quantum Link. That I like the gambling part. That was pretty cool. Oh, LAN parties. They still do a few of those. They don't do as. I mean, they don't do them as much as they used to. I mean, I actually was a part of a couple of those even back in the. When was I last at that company? Probably in the early 2000s, because I got here in '99. So mid 2000s, I did it. The one computer company I did, we helped sponsor one kind of near us, and that was kind of cool. You know, I don't remember what I was playing back then. Might have been playing Freelancer. Might have been playing Freelancer. Earth and Beyond might have still been might have been out if it was before 3 or 4. I've got my 1-year fan anniversary shirt for Earth and Beyond, and I still come across that once in a while. That was kind of funny because people, I could wear that, like, whoa, what's that game? I'd be like, it's gone. It was cool, but it's gone, you know. And that's why it's always funny that World of Warcraft is still just so huge and stuff. But I mean, that's why. But you know, I mean, it's the monthly subscription. I got a friend that's playing it again right now, who I might. You know, I started it. I loaded it back up. I can play up to level 20. Most of my guys are higher. But that's World of Warships is pretty cool. I mean, if you look at my video I did last night, I played a battle and then I went through all my dock. I got like 42 ships. You know, most of them are just through, you know, like everything else, just leveling. You know, leveling kind of stuff. And then, I've bought a few ships. Actually, it's kind of funny as I was trying to talk my friend back in Wisconsin into playing. I bought some gift cards I was gonna, you know, give him so he could play, but he wasn't interested. So gaming's cool. Lego's just as cool. I mean, that's why my mom always laughs. You don't have cable TV. I'm like I need any more distractions right now. Did you say what part, where you're at, part of the country or world you're at? I don't know if I caught that, if you said. $16 gun. That's good. In Star Wars stuff, I mean, modding stuff is always fun to do. Australia, I got a friend down there. Haven't talked to him in forever. Used to play. He was on our Team Supreme thing. He went by the name Spartan. Was his gaming name, Spartan. Doctor down there somewhere. Put his residency on hold or some kind of education when he was playing with us, because what had happened, we'd game for 8 hours. He'd jump on, we're like, oh, and this is when we were like, all three of us were unemployed. We're like, okay, Mountain Dew and Taco Bell run, we're going to be up for another freaking 8 hours. And so we'd play like, you know, stupid amounts of time. We had friends in Germany at that point too, and but yeah, it was fun. He actually wrote a book. He wrote a book, and it's somewhere on. A book is like frickin'. The book is huge, and it's talking about had the Titanic not sunk, the U.S. would be Germany on one half and Japan on the other. We would have been invaded from both sides. 10 hull pieces? Wow. It's crazy. I was working on a giant Imperial flagship once, trying to do something like that, but make it wider. You know, and that kind of never really went too far. Got to be too big and too crazy, and so yeah. So, are you behind or ahead in Australia? I can't remember. You're probably ahead, right? Or are you behind? Actually, I think you're ahead, aren't you? So what time is it there now? Or is it... Actually, no. Actually, maybe you are behind. Afternoon? I think when I talk to Ozzy, she's always like afternoon. So that's cool. It's always good to, you know... Problem then is, I mean, if we're doing Friday night bricks, you guys are on a weekday, unfortunately. That's always good. I mean, modding stuff is good. I mean, building mocks. I mean, like you said, it just, you know, there's so much out there. You got to, like you said, you pick the theme you really enjoy, and you go crazy. Ahead, 2:30 p.m. Tuesday. Yes. Cool, cool. So how often do people play the jokes on you where, you know, oh no, 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 it's not this day, you know, like during daylight saving time, no, 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 it's we're Monday still, you know. So that's cool. But yeah, I mean, you know, I need to build more 80 space stuff. I have stuff that I've used for shows. I think I showed some pictures on Friday Night Bricks. I went through a big file folder of pictures, and had, I think, one from a train show years ago. Because I used to, before I founded Denlug, I tried to be as active as I could in the CowLug group, Colorado, Wyoming Lego Users Group, and so the Estes Park show was in February, big train show, and so I did that one. But usually always made the mistake of prepping really late the night before. So there's probably lots of pictures of me floating around the internet of me asleep under a table or in a chair. Just, you know, I mastered that art. You know, usually even at the shows I currently do, I'm kind of like this. And you can't tell. I mean, once my fellow AFOLs know that the shades are on, they're probably figuring I could be sleeping. So it is possible. So how big? You got a fairly large collection down there. I know a lot of people say that it's harder, a lot more expensive down there to get a lot of the Lego stuff. So. Okay, oh, I still need this. Maybe I'll just make a stack of these. Probably should call it here pretty soon. Johnny G's me, is that you? 33. Yeah. Is that you? 33 videos, perhaps? Actually, how many subscribers do you have, Johnny? That'll probably give it away. Okay, so I would subscribe. There's a bunch of Johnny G's out there. You're a watcher? Oh, you don't have anything with videos or anything? Oh, I figured I'd check, you know. So yeah, it is what it is. Well, when you're ready to go out, make sure you take some pictures and maybe some video of that mod of your mock, just in case, you know. Never know, you might get some people wanting to see some of the in process. Oh, you're good. Don't worry about it. But if people are out searching to subscribe to me, I always figure it's always worth to subscribe to those people who are helping me. So. I think I'm at like 60 something subscribers, and I've got videos because I've been using YouTube kind of off and on a fair amount over the years, just for whatever. I have a Flickr out there too. I mean, the Flickr gets some stuff here and there. So I got here one more. Okay. Yeah, I collect a little bit of everything. I mean, City's the main one. I had a friend that went cold turkey, I don't know, 8 years ago. Stopped buying Lego. He and I were going to do a big City stuff, and so kind of hoping he'll get back here sometime soon. Just because we're not getting any younger, and excuses are a dime a dozen. But I mean, I have a lot of stuff. I mean, CMFs, I collect those. Obviously, clear, translucent stuff is kind of my forte right now because of the castle. But purple, I like purple. Purple's one of those colors I really enjoyed as a kid. Lego, with it coming out over the years recently, has kind of really helped that. So I built a little bit in purple. You know, Harry Potter and the Night Bus helped. So Hope Castle. Hope Castle is built in memory of. It's built in honor of my sister when she was fighting breast cancer before she passed away. But I also knew some kids that had cancer too. So basically in the keep in the picture, there's 5 names. And I've got a video. I'd say go watch the. Maybe I'll play it again on Friday night. Maybe figure out how to play it a little bit better, more sound or something. I'll have to tweak that a little bit. But it was built in honor of them. And so I just call it Hope Castle because with cancer, there's always hope. You know, there's always hope that there'll be a cure found. That someone will get through the cancer. My mom's obviously a breast cancer survivor. My little sister obviously is not. So it's one of those things where. But I've known a bunch of kids and stuff that have had it. So. And so basically, I first started building it in 2016 or 13. The first year it was 4 levels. It was a small keep. I might even have a picture somewhere of it. I mean, it was a small castle the first year, and then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger over the years. So. Let's see here. Whoops, didn't go up far enough. So for Brick World 2013, here I'll pull it up real quick here. So, basically this would have been the keep in Brick World 2013. So it was the first year I went. I'm just going to pull up one of the website pics. And so this was the castle that year. So I mean, it was 4 levels. The roof wasn't as cool. I didn't even think when I was building it to build, you know, using the same mold, build a roof, the same setup. I did have a large setup that year. Basically, it was Taylor, one of the young boys, had actually passed away the year before, and so I actually built a boat because his favorite item was, you know, sea turtles. So I built a boat. He called Taylor's Turtle, and I actually had a shirt. I had a friend build me a special logo, you know, a special thing for that. Legos for Leukemia, a bunch of pictures of him, my sister, breast cancer. So it was one of those things where, I mean, the first year was, you know, a little bit small, and ever since then it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So and I'll play a video Friday night that actually goes through the history, and actually maybe I'll even try and maybe get it uploaded maybe this week. So it goes through the history of Hope Castle. It talks about the kids, talks about my sister, and then also, you know, kind of states when they became an angel type kind of thing. So, but I mean, it's a video I made for World Chicago. I do the World of Lights every year. The castle lights up in the dark. You know, usually one of the brightest things in terms of just obnoxious light, I guess, would be the proper terminology. And obnoxious music. I do have a Party Rocker Live, which is a speaker with a bunch of disco lights. Didn't work as well this year, but the castle lights up. So the castle, even you can see it in the one picture down here on the screen, there's that green line going around it. So the castle does light up. It's got the roll of LEDs you can get on Amazon. Much brighter than a lot of the aftermarket stuff that Life Lights or Brick Stuff sells. These suckers are bright. The castle, when it didn't have the texture. I mean, it was even brighter. It was, it giant nightlight. Think of a nightlight, of an obnoxious nightlight, and that's what it would be. So, but yeah. So I mean, and it just gets bigger every year. It changes, you know, a little bit. It's in the shape of a clover. So, and that's kind of the goal this year, was to get it so that it actually was more in the shape of a clover. Here, I'll show you the picture from last year. It doesn't have the roof. Where all my pictures this year, actually, I had an issue. I couldn't charge my camera, so I didn't get a lot of pictures this year of what I wanted to. I got some with the phone, so I put it on the floor. People could see it. So this was last year's, and so you can kind of see the stem here. That's a much bigger clover. And each clover leaf is the size of one of the old levels of the keep. So much larger. Texturing, it started this year. The new stuff for 17 was the moat. Added a lot more ice bears, added more saber tooths as allies. So it's one of those things where you just have a lot of stuff going on. Dragons. I mean, I was hoping to have a lot more dragons this last year and just didn't get them all out. So it's, you know, but that's the special meaning, and that's where the Assembling Hope comes from. When I was let go from Lego, my friend Kevin Hinkle, the Americas coordinator for years at Lego, now is a graphic designer for himself. You know, so since he no longer works for Lego, and so he said, maybe you need to create something built around your castle. So he helped design the logo, and it, you know, Assembling Hope. And my slogan is, you know, feeding the imagination of children battling cancer. Basically, I'd been giving away sets for years before this even came into effect, but didn't have any kind of you know, special, you know, name for it or anything. So, but I mean, it's one of those things. It's a nonprofit corporation. I do have my tax ID. I just don't have a 501. I don't have the 501c3 yet, and that'll come at some point here. So let's see here. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of it going on. One, Kittenville, who's on the stream a little bit, a fair amount, his son is actually in a battle right now. So, I mean, it's hitting a little bit closer to home than it normally does right now because, you know, one of the streamers is having that, having that his son fight that battle. So, oh yeah. So, yep. Actually, one of the guys that used to resell Lego was big into RC cars, and he's about my age too. And he used to be a pretty good racer too. So it's kind of funny. So, well, let's see here. I got a message from somebody. Just a second. Yeah, Mr. Hink messaged me, so I was just messaging him back. But that's cool. I mean, you know, anything. I mean, cancer sucks. I mean, in the days when we were kids, I mean, if kids had it, I mean, you probably didn't know about it like it is now because of the internet and stuff. I mean, and I think just even the, you know, the way, you know, living is these days too. It's just, you know. I think there's just a lot less people too. I mean, I think there's a lot more people this day and age having a lot more kids than they probably should have. I mean, no offense, and probably a debate, probably not for on here, but to me, I really don't think really most people should have more than probably about 4. I mean, my parents had 4. I mean, you know, I mean, farmers maybe could have a little bit more, but I think what happens is some people just have too many, and it's just like, are you kidding me? I mean, and that people wonder why crazy things happen and everything. You know, it's probably Mother Nature saying, you know, you guys are overpopulating this world with these two-legged people, these two-legged beings, and this world won't support that much. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is, but it's crazy. So, yeah. So, I mean, I knew some kids. I had one kid that had the weird hand where he only had, like, you know, he had the stubs. The kid when I was a kid, you know, when I was a kid. So, I mean, there was some stuff that you saw when you were younger, but I mean, it wasn't as, you know, the cancer wasn't probably as mainstream as it is now. So, what the heck? Oh, yeah, my guys, we use that band app, and it's just, it blows up constantly. Obviously, it's one of those things where we haven't set a good time to stop sending messages. Everybody, I guess, some people have more family than others, and it's kind of crazy. So, it is what it is, what it is. So, but yeah. I was into RC cars a little bit too. I had an Optima, like Kyusha Optima or whatever. So I had one of those years ago and had lots of bodies for it. Eventually sold it. I mean, I probably should have kept around, and you know, because actually one of the members of my group does, you know, RC cars using that stuff. She's got 3D printers, so she makes her own custom molds to go into the Lego. So she's using the RC car motors, the RC car batteries, the RC car remotes, and then just basically building custom mounts to have the motor slide in and work with Lego. So, you know, after Lego did that one fast RC car years ago, I think everybody's kind of got that bug where if I'm doing a Lego car, I want it to move, I want it to haul. So, but yeah, RC cars were always fun. Never got really good at it, but enjoyed it. It was fun. I'm probably going to call it quits in about 15, so just give me a heads up. Yeah, I love that I had lots of custom plates for it. I custom painted a lot of the wheels. I mean, yeah, I mean, I had the setup. I'll dig out maybe for you on I see you on Friday. I'll to me take out the pictures, maybe when I sold it, because I had like 4 or 5 bodies. I made a lot of the custom. I made custom body mounts using, you know, like L plastic brackets and stuff. I mean, I just went to town on that stuff because it was fun when I had that. I mean, I had a ball playing with those guys with those RC cars. You know, I took enough crazy detours away from Lego. I kind of wish I hadn't, because I'd probably have a much larger collection and a lot cooler stuff that I'd be enjoying a lot more. But it is what it is. Whoever's the puppeteer for us pulls strings to make us go in certain directions. I mean, it is what it is, and we aren't always happy about the strings that they pull, but it is what it is. So, but yeah, it's cool. So how close is the closest you know, store that has Lego for you, or I guess best store to shop at for Lego for you? I guess that would be a good question. And it's kind of funny. We joke about copyright infringement all the time about music and everything, and it's kind of funny because all the guys say, well, unless you're over 1,000 subscribers or have a little bit of time. I mean, some of my streams have got to be probably near the long end of most, you know, in terms of just, you know, every week ones. I mean, most of the guys I know don't do very long ones, so this is crazy. The spontaneous ones will probably get kind of crazy here very soon. Yeah, yeah. Sounds good. Yeah. Oh yeah, Saturday. That's right. Yep. So yeah, just yeah, look for me Friday night, and then yeah, just pop in, say hi, and remind me about RC cars, and I'll find those pictures. Maybe I'll try and get them ahead of time. So cool. Have a good night, Johnny. Catch you later. I'm gonna end this stream, I think.